Hello again, everybody. It's Archivist David Thomas at the Cornwall Record Office here in Truro on a rather wet afternoon. A moment to pause for reflection, because on Saturday the Cornwall Record Office here in Truro closed to the public for the very last time on our site. And we're hoping to reopen again at our new site in Redruth on the brewery site in around the middle of next year. As part of that celebration of the end of the record office here in Truro and looking forward to the future, some of the students of Exeter University put together a little display for us in this cabinet here in the search room of the Cornwall Record Office. So let's have a look and see what we've got. We contrast actually with two records in the top shelf, which is the oldest document that we have, which is actually a deed for some parishes in North Cornwall, dating from probably around 1130. And it's a gift of lands for the manor of Fentragon up around the Bude area. And some interesting signatures at the bottom of that document. Contrast that with the newest document that came in fairly recently in 2018. It's about the origins of Cornish exotic gardens, a myth question, and that came in as a result of a report by the Falmouth Arts Society on the import of exotic plants into Cornwall in the period between about 1750 and 1900. And there were various local gentry like the Lemons and the Ennises who promoted that and benefited in their gardens by the importation of the plants. And just moving down to the middle shelf, we have some examples of records that relate to the opening of the present Cornwall Record Office here on the Truro site in 1964. For example, we have one of the invitation cards, and this was sent to the Cornish mining historian Alfred Kenneth Hamilton Jenkin, who lived at Trewergy House in Redruth. He was on the County Records Committee, and he was quite vocal in the presentation of records and the setting up of the new office on this very formal occasion in 1964. And also we have actually a copy of the menu of the dinner that was held on that occasion on the 10th of November 1964 to celebrate the opening of the new office. And it's actually printed in French. So we have saumon fumé as smoked salmon at the top, and café, of course, coffee at the bottom. And various items there. It looks like they had a very good time and a very good feed on that occasion. And at the bottom of the shelf of the cabinet, we have some of the minutes of the first records committee, which was set up in the early 1950s. And many counties actually had registries of deeds in as early as the 1860s, for example, in Yorkshire. Cornwall was quite late in setting up a record office following the Second World War. And that, of course, was in the light of the destruction of many records in paper salvage during the First World War and the bombing and destruction of many records, particularly in cities like Plymouth in the Second World War. Cornwall did it in 1951. The records office was housed in a house called Gwendrock down in the centre of Truro, and in 1964 moved to its present site. A third phase is now about to happen as we move to our new purpose-built premises at the brewery at Redruth, which is being constructed and fitted out at the moment. We hope that you will come and be a part of this continuing story of Cornwall's archival heritage, both as a depositor of records and as a user. So join us next year in our new premises at Redruth from the middle of 2019. See you soon.